Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another episode of CritiCarter, the show where I turn you into a cinephile. I just got back from the midnight screening of the Ides of March, the new political drama directed by George Clooney, written by Clooney, Grant Heslov, and Beau Willimon, and starring Ryan Gosling, George Clooney, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Paul Giamatti, Evan Rachel Wood, Marisa Tomei, Max Minghella, and Jeffrey Wright.
I've never heard someone say Clooney that many times. Clooney's a very busy man.
Dude, say Clooney 5 times fast.
Clooney, Clooney, Clooney. Clooney, 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 Clooney. There you go. DJ brings up an excellent point. I really hope people go out and see this movie, because obviously Good Night and Good Luck was too under the radar. This isn't the first film that George Clooney has starred in, co-written, and directed. Several years back he made Good Night and Good Luck, which, for those of you who don't know, is a tremendous film. It is in black and white though, so don't be surprised when you pop it in your DVD player or you see it up on the shelf. About Edward R. Murrow having to take on the terrible force that was Joe McCarthy during the 1950s and really bringing about the whole op-ed movement in television journalism. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Ides of March, because that's the one that just came out today. Ryan Gosling plays the junior campaign manager to George Clooney's governor of Pennsylvania, currently running for the Democratic nomination for the presidency, and an offer that he gets from the opposition becomes very tempting to him when he learns of a bombshell that could end the entire race. Ides of March. Terrific film, you know? More than Clooney though, you know, even though Clooney is really being pushed as the guy, the big guy in this movie, he's not the main focus. 2011 has been the year of the Gosling, as far as I'm concerned. You know, you had Crazy Stupid Love, which was a rom-com that didn't suck completely, so, you know, good for them. You had Drive, just a couple weeks ago. Near flawless film, made by a director who more people should know about. And now you got the Ides of March, which, political drama, a lot of people, that's going to turn them off. But when you have the sheer quality of effort that went into this project, it's tremendous. You got this play, Farragut North, and it's inspired by the 2004 presidential run of Howard Dean. You know, you'll remember him as the guy who went, "Ah!" And then that kind of blew his chance of being the president. People are weird, they won't vote for you for stuff like that. Who knows why. Make sure you keep that in mind when you're watching, that's the basis for this film, because it looks like the Obama election. You've got a Shepherd Ferry type poster that says "Believe" running across the bottom with George Clooney's, or should I say Mike Morse's character's face on it. So don't let yourself be deceived by the set design into thinking that this is about Obama, because it's not. So, tremendous play, made a great script. You know, George Clooney's at the helm, who has proven, as I said, proven his worth as a director once before, and definitely done so a second time with this one. Ryan Gosling just knocks it out of the park like he's done twice already this year. The whole cast, you know, like I said in my review for Contagion, sometimes having a big cast can be a problem when you try and give them all an equal playing field. This movie does not do that. Does not even make any attempt to do that. It's very clear from the onset. You got Ryan Gosling, George Clooney, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Paul Giamatti, and pretty much everybody else kind of just fills in the cracks at the bottom. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, except a couple of the pieces are bigger than the others. If you're still with me, we got more to talk about. The movie as a whole really pulls no punches. I can't say a lot about it because the spoiler bits come hard and fast once the second act gets going, but it's definitely something that I didn't expect. You know, like, stuff happens in it, and I was like, oh, well, here's what's going to happen next, and then it totally just veers off in another direction, which I love. You know, the last thing I want to do is go into a movie theater and know what it is that I'm going to end up seeing, you know, an hour and a half down the road. Again, I wish I could say more about it just because it's that good a film. But, you know, I mean, it has everything that a good film needs to have. I want to just sit here and break it down beat by beat, and I can't, because I want people to see the movie and have that same experience with it that I did. You know, so I'm gonna give it, you know, I'm gonna have to do this.
5?
No. If Joseph Gordon-Levitt doesn't get a 5, this movie doesn't get a 5 either. I'm going to give Ides of March 3 3/4 charismatic Democratic candidates out of 5. Be sure to favorite this video and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Boom. Give me a big old thumbs up. Yeah, big old thumbs up if you like this video. And I know you did, because I put lots of hard work into it, as did my wonderful producers. And leave me a comment down there somewhere under where all the fabulous links are for my many social networking whatnots. Tell me, would you vote for George Clooney for president? Not George Clooney's character in this film. George Clooney as he is right now in our world. Would you elect George Clooney president?
Pretty bold question.
The man makes statements, you know. He goes out there, he's got his agenda. He makes no bones about it. He's even been in a movie or two that reflects that, which I think, I like when people take a stance on things. And remember, we got last week's review of the wonderful 50/50 up here, and we're gonna have the review of The Thing next week, which is a prequel, not a remake. Don't confuse the two. Hopefully by then I can learn how to pronounce all the complicated names of everybody involved with the project. Fade to black!